Welcome to Paradox Rising Radio Podcast, where the world of dreamscapes and nightmares become your reality.
Welcome to this week's episode of The Discovery Part 2 on Paradox Rising Radio Podcast, where our character John, in his obsession to find the amazing vision he gazed upon onto his first trip into the Greek waters of the Mediterranean, has frantically crashed their boat and now finds himself a dark captor to unknown voices, wanting answers as he begins to explain himself to them.
The coordinates. There they were, before our eyes, plain as day, as if calling out just to us. Don't you see? We had to find it. It was our destiny to know. As we traveled further away from the island, each trip, and closer towards the coordinates, we found what we believed to be man-made structures beneath the waves, only strengthening our belief in our quest. We searched many times with our coordinates, only to have our navigation equipment malfunction on us each time. We would come close to them until this day. This day I could not stop. This day I had to take destiny into my own hands.
Thank you, John. Your descriptions have been most helpful, but your fate, your destiny, is in our hands now.
Wait, please. I told you everything. All I know. Please, release me. Tell me where I am. What do you want from me?
John, bound to this animated horror, struggles once again to try to move as he contemplates his dark captor's purpose.
Be still now, John.
We've agreed to release you from your current state. You will be thus transferred until we examine further and decide.
Decide? Decide what? Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Sleep now, John. Sleep.
Suddenly, John finds himself coming back to a state of consciousness and finding himself in some kind of strange waiting room filled with the light of massive windows surrounding each wall of the room. Disoriented, John stumbles to his feet and towards the light, coming in through what looks like a complete opening, unhindered by glass or obstruction in any way. Feeling as though he could reach right through and into the outside world, John, compelled, starts walking straight to the window to find out. Coming upon it, John can feel no wind or weather coming through the seemingly unblocked window, which only heightens an atmosphere of fear and confusion. John's hands, shaking, reaches out towards the light of the open window. Just before his fingertips could reach it, John looks out and becomes frozen with shock and amazement at what he's seeing down below. Seeing the central harbour, structured tunnels leading out into and under the water, direct crashing waves up and through to a central building structure. These waves look as though they are transferred into some form of energy, going up and through the building, emanating a strange and powerful glow out of the top. The energy source, powering everything from their ships to all forms of infrastructure about the harbour. John can't believe what he's seeing. John's eyes and mind dart back and forth frantically through the window, trying to take it all in. All about the island are what look like small obelisk structures that seem to absorb or contain the same energy source directed into the centre building. Inhabitants walk before them, placing their hands upon them as if performing some kind of worship. The inhabitants disappearing before John's very eyes, and then they seem to reappear at a different obelisk location, representing some kind of instant form of travel. John rubs deeply into his eyes, then widens them again in amazement.
What is this?
The ships coming into the harbour come up from under the water, revealing themselves and resembling some kind of highly advanced stealth fighter jet. Made of some kind of glowing blue metal, they are camouflaged perfectly with the waters of the Mediterranean. Coming into the base of the harbour, the ships each pass through some kind of circular structure, lifting them up and out of the water, floating there like some kind of invisible force as they pass through, before heading into their docking stations. John sees that these circular structures are scattered all around the harbour, as well as the obelisks, but seem to be placed in strategic places this time. Overwrought with stimulation, John tries to focus in on these structures and what the inhabitants are doing within them. The inhabitants just standing beneath megaton stones as they are being lifted up and guided gently in mid-air to fit perfectly within the confines of their construction.
What? Anti-gravity? What is this?
The workers, moving together in harmony like a dance, only guide the stones as these buildings are slowly erected with some kind of supernatural force, like the hand of God helping them along. John, overwhelmed by all of it, could never have imagined the sights and advancement he was now gazing upon. For all the stories, research and theories over his years, nothing could have prepared him for this. No amount of imagining could have ever revealed this lost city before him, this Atlantis. Wanting answers and out of this holding cell, John rushes towards the window with his elbow, hoping to find nothing but air behind it, but instead finds himself crashing into and off of some kind of unseen energy field, throwing him back and onto the floor.
Let me out of here! Whoever you are! Let me go! Please!
Rushing the windows, John begins throwing himself with full force into the energy fields, trying to break free, being shot back violently and onto the cold, hard floor each time.
To allow him to continue in this way, we risk all. He must remain undamaged. It's time to allow him to move on.
Yes, quite right. Time to give him all the answers he's been seeking.
Seeing light shining through what looks like an outline of a doorway on the only plain wall of the room, John rushes as fast and hard as he can towards it, trying to throw his shoulder straight through, but there's nothing. Just some kind of illusion as he falls straight forward and into a hallway of white. Jumping to his feet, his heart racing, John runs and navigates to try to find a way out of these clinical hallways of white as the lights throughout them blind his way to escape. Stopping at nothing, John continues to run and stumble through this maze until finally he comes to an opening leading him out of and into the harbour docks. It was all there before him, just as he had gazed upon it from above, but there was no time. Continuing to run, John tries to go unnoticed, darting behind objects along the way, but begins to realize that none of the workers even look in his direction or notice he's there at all, it seems. Observing them closer, he sees the inhabitants, their eyes, grey and cold, staring right past and through him as their actions are strangely exactly the same as when he was observing them from above. Looking as though they're repeating in some kind of loop, John stands in the middle of the harbour, completely exposed, frozen in time.
What is this? Show yourself!
Screaming out, John starts to see the grid lines flickering that he came to know so vividly upon his very first journey to the coordinates found in the book. Throughout this harbour, this island lost to time, this observed reality, fades in and out as he is lifted up by the unknown force like those he observed earlier. Higher and higher as he only sees a black void now, filled with laser grid lines. John remains paralyzed now, rising up as his consciousness once again fades to black.
What? Where am I? What have you done?
Feeling the cold metal table upon his back and darkness surrounding him, John remains paralyzed in wait.
It is time.
He will know all before his roll.
Suddenly, waves of foreign knowledge, described by his captors, begin to force their way into John's consciousness, flashing into his memory at lightning speed.
Help! Please! Stop! No more!
Beyond the great cataclysm, far removed from the grand flood of Noah and Gilgamesh, we came to help rebuild, to teach, and to share. Our technology knew no bounds as one society would flourish above all others in secret, sharing not only our knowledge, but our DNA. Our race was dying as we created highly advanced beings far beyond their time.
This we found to be a mistake, as our great creation began to share our given secrets for their own greed and wealth.
Our great Atlantis could be no more. We once again used our technologies to spark the great volcano upon the mountaintop of Thera, destroying all and sinking our once great nation beneath the sea forever.
John, still paralyzed, continues to grip his eyes closed tightly with fear. Communicating with him telepathically, he can hear their words piercing into his mind like rolling thunder.
There is no need to struggle, John. You will be with us now.
We came back many times in search of our lost DNA within our once great city, but we could find nothing. Again and again we searched until the day you came upon us, John. We knew then that you would be our salvation, and you alone.
You see, John, you are already very far away from home upon our ship now. You will be traveling with us. You are very special to us indeed, our subject and donor to our once great experiment to save our dying race. You see, John, your body will be our salvation.
Leading into the darkness of space forever, Earth and this Atlantis will be but a distant memory, as John's eyes are open wide now. Looking up, their large grey eyes stare down at him with nothing behind them, as the drills begin to close in.
Thank you for joining Paradox Rising Radio podcast. Please join us next week for another story to help keep you company in the dark.